Best online stock brokerage. David Jaffe with beststockstrategy.com. You can go to beststockstrategy.com, enter in your email address, and receive over $400 worth of free training that's better than anyone else's paid materials, because it will actually help you make money and become a consistently profitable trader. I use E-Trade. I used Options House before, but then I think in October of 2018, or rather August 2018, E-Trade completed their acquisition of Options House. As a result, I use E-Trade, but I do use the Options House app. And the only time that I make trades is in the Android app. I have never made a trade on the desktop computer or on the laptop. I make every single 100% of my trades using the Options House app, the Android app. I really don't think that there's much difference between using E-Trade or ThinkorSwim or Robinhood or Tastyworks or any of those other platforms or interactive brokers. I think that my returns would not be negatively impacted irrespective of the platform that I use, except for Robinhood. I would not use that because you can't trade naked options. But I guess the big takeaway here is that it's not a paramount decision about which brokerage that you use, because I think that you're just constructing a potential roadblock in your mind when the most important aspect is that you just have to get started. So whether I use Options House or E-Trade or Tastyworks or Interactive Brokers or Schwab or Fidelity or any of them, I would still make the same money that I make trading. So I use Options House, like I said. A few things to keep in mind though, all right? I'm gonna get more into specifics. Some of them, especially if you have more than like $20,000, they offer sign-up bonuses. So I would Google online stock brokerage sign-up bonuses, and then you can frequently get around $400 or $500 if you have around $20,000 that you're willing to deposit into a new account. Additionally, sometimes they'll offer you like 60 days of free trading. So remember, you can easily make around $500. Or also, let's say you have an existing account. What you could do is you can call up your existing broker and say that you've seen an offer where they're offering $500 for new accounts, and you want to know if they'd be willing to match that. Maybe they're not going to give you the entire $500, but maybe they'll say, hey, if we credit you with a credit of like $200, is that enough for you to stay? Because remember, they don't want you to leave. So if you have an existing brokerage, even if you've used it for around 1 or 2 years, you can call them up and say that you've seen a sign-up bonus elsewhere and that you're thinking about transferring your account to that new online brokerage because they're offering you $500 or $600, and you want to know if your existing broker is willing to offer you like $200 or $300, or at least 3 or 4 months of free trades in order to entice you to stay and to not switch brokers. So that's something that you can do. You can play the game, and credit card companies do it as well, where they offer you sign-up bonuses for their credit cards. But make sure that you do take advantage of the sign-up bonus, especially if you have more than $10,000 in your account, because whether you're opening up a new account or you have an existing account, you can utilize that to make money because they will pay you to stay. If you want to practice, you can use ThinkorSwim. They have a paperMoney account, which I think gives you around $100,000 in like play money. So if you want to get comfortable with trading option premium, you can do that. That's the best way of practicing. If you're an international resident, then you have to, for all intents and purposes, use interactive brokers. I would say almost 100% of my international students use interactive brokers. Not 100% because I don't really care which brokerage they use, but those that tell me, I would say that almost all of them use interactive brokers. For US and Canadian citizens, if you have below $3,000, I would recommend that you use either Tastyworks or Robinhood. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Robinhood at all because it doesn't allow you to trade naked options. Additionally, when you sell verticals, they don't allow you, I think they do actually allow you to have some margin, but I'm not sure that it's 20% of the margin capabilities, which means that I kind of look at Robinhood as something like if you're trying to learn how to ride a bicycle and then they put training wheels on there. But I do think that Robinhood instills and encourages people to develop negative habits, because on some of the groups that I'm a member of on Facebook, I would say 9 out of 10 people in there, they end up buying options. And that's like one of the easiest ways that you can go broke and lose all your money. So for the most part, I tend to steer people away from Robinhood because I think honestly that Robinhood wants their people to lose money. So if you have below $3,000 and you're going to be disciplined and you're going to sell vertical credit spreads, then I'm okay with you using Robinhood because you're not going to pay any commissions. But I also recommend that you use Tastyworks. If you have $3,000 to $20,000, I would recommend that you use Tastyworks. Me personally, I am not a fan of Tastyworks platform. It's just so slow for me to enter in an order. It's way too visual. It's a little bit clunky. If I want to like roll a position or manage a position or even enter in a new position, it's incredibly slow. I don't like it at all. Also, when I use E-Trade, the fees for the exchanges are actually built in and shown on my total commissions. So I think that Tastyworks, they charge around 13 cents per contract in exchange fees. The funny thing is that for E-Trade, I pay a flat $8.50 plus 10 cents per contract, but I don't pay 10 cents per contract plus the commission fees. So instead, like if I trade like 50 contracts of Facebook, then I will pay the $8.50 plus an incremental $5 in fees. So then that will work out to $13.50 in total for me to sell 50 puts on Facebook. But if I was doing that same trade of selling 50 puts using Tastyworks, I think it would be a maximum of I think it's $1 per contract, right? So, but they max it out at $10 per leg, but you also pay the 13 cents for every contract that you sell in exchange fees, which is actually higher than the 10 cents that I pay, for like incremental. So in that, when you sell 50 contracts using Tastyworks, it would cost you the $10 maximum plus 13 cents of 50. That would be $6.50, right? Like something like that, $6.50. So therefore, as a result, you're actually paying $16.50 for Tastyworks versus the $12.50 or the $13.50 that I was paying in E-Trade. So I'm not really a huge fan of Tastyworks, although I do like Tasty Trade content. But regardless of but I definitely do believe that if you have anywhere from $3,000 to $20,000, then you should use Tastyworks and just get used to the platform. If you have more than $20,000, you should really go with any online brokerage that you feel comfortable with that's also offering you a relatively large sign-up bonus. As I said before, you can simply Google online sign-up bonus or online stock brokerage sign-up bonus, and then you can get the list that are going to provide you with the best current sign-up bonus, and then you can also leverage that list for your existing broker to get some cash bonuses or to also get some concessions like 3 months of free trades, etc. A few other things is if you have over $100,000, you should always ask for portfolio margin. There is never a time when portfolio margin does not give you greater flexibility than Regulation T. And the last thing is, irrespective of how much money you have, whether it's $2,000 or $2 million, you should always ask your online broker for the ability to sell naked puts and calls. Some of them might ask you to take a quiz. They might ask you what your investment objectives are, in which case you should indicate that it's speculation, that you understand the risk that you're taking. Because remember, the online brokerages, they're just trying to cover their own butts. But you should always ask for the ability to trade naked puts and calls. You can just simply place a call into the online stock brokerage's customer service, and it's very easy for you to get approved to sell naked puts and calls. Some of the online brokerages are easier than others, but I know that Tastyworks is incredibly easy to get approved to sell naked puts and calls. Some of the other ones are a little bit more difficult, like Schwab is a little bit more difficult, but you should ask them, tell them that you're interested in speculation. Some of them will even give you a quiz, which you can look up, or you can do it yourself and then find the answers. But the point is that, to summarize about the best online stock brokerages, I use Options House, which was acquired by E-Trade. Make sure that you Google a sign-up bonus. If you want to practice, you can use ThinkorSwim paperMoney. For international students, you're pretty much pigeonholed to only use Interactive Brokers. If you have less than $3,000, like $2,000 to $3,000, you will use either Tastyworks or Robinhood. If you have $3,000 to $20,000, you're going to use Tastyworks. If you have more than $20,000, you're going to use whichever stock brokerage is offering you the best sign-up bonus. Remember, if you have over $100,000, you should ask for portfolio margin, and you should always ask for the ability to sell naked calls and puts, irrespective of how large your account size is. This is David Jaffe with beststockstrategy.com. If you have any questions, let me know. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can go to beststockstrategy.com and enter in your email address and receive over $400 worth of free valuable training. And if you have any questions, I'm here to help you. And once again, thanks for watching.